Initially, our sisters came to see South Sudan, Southern Sudan, to see what would the mission be of Rumbek. And they came back, and the tale they told was really heart-rending. I mean, everybody was moved when they came back to tell the story. Girls were not being educated. They were never even being considered for education. So it was a beautiful moment. Many of us volunteered to come. We spent 2 very happy years living in the parish, and during that time it gave us a chance to learn the language, to know more of the culture, to meet the people, and to have a greater sense of what the life would be like for us. In February 2008 we were able to move here, and we were able to begin our first group. Today we take 100 girls into first year every year, but we have over 400 or 500 applications. So there is now a huge demand for education. The war ended here in 2004-2005, so the girls that we have today would have been babies during that time. And many of them would have been displaced from that war. And as they were growing up as younger children, many of the families came back into the town of Rumbek when peace was there. But I suppose for me, I always think of a boarding school here, like a women's refuge. These girls are, many of them, most of them are escaping early and forced marriage. And it is a protection, and the families will say that if the girls are in boarding school, it does protect them from the extended family, it does protect them from the threat of early and forced marriage outside. You know, we've come through a long history over the last 13 years of the secondary school. When we started, it was hard to get girls. Now, thankfully and sadly, we're in a great situation where we get 4 times the number of girls that can actually come. They want education, they want university, they want to be agents of change for the better for their community. They have seen the women suffer, they have seen the children suffer, and they're really passionate about wanting to bring change as well.
Girls in South Sudan, they really feel that they want a chance to be in school, to experience school life before maybe they do what the culture expects them to do.
Loreto has given me so much. Actually, at the end of my senior 4, I struggled a lot with these normal issues that girls face in my society. Early marriage, forced marriage. So I was almost a victim. But Sister Ola and Loreto stepped in and found a donor for me that gave me a scholarship to Nairobi. So that enabled me to do my degree, and I came back to give back to the society.
So now it's become a very clear program for us and a very popular program for us. We take about 15 girls every year who have completed secondary school with us. We invite them back to join the internship program, or they apply, they're interviewed. If they do 1 year with us, we will support them to study in South Sudan. If they do 2 years with us, we will support them to study in East Africa. It has proven to be the happier programs and successful programs for us, because the girls get a chance to transform from being a student to being a staff member. They learn professionalism, they learn commitment of work. So they're mentored into the world of work, and they're mentored. And again, as I say, many of these girls are the first girl in their family to be educated, so they're the first girl in their family to work outside of the home. So it's to try and shape them and to try and help support them into the different ways of work. So we were a bit hesitant in the beginning because we were clear our mission was a secondary school. That is what we wanted. But I think when we looked at it closely, we realized that in order to have a foundation of secondary, we need also to be rooted in the primary. We started a kindergarten with about 40 kids, and we were needing primary school teachers. But unfortunately in South Sudan, it was very difficult to get locally trained primary school teachers.
When I came, we were still under trees, and in Kenya that was something that had happened a long time ago. So it was also a challenge to me to sit under the tree, but thankfully the donors, and with the time we had all the classes. Now we had all the children in classes. Sometimes I get a chance to ask them, how do you see life when you get out of here? Do you think you want to go back and sit in the village and get children and all that? and they'll be like, no teacher, I want to go to Loreto Secondary. So they already have a vision because they want to go to Loreto Secondary.
I think we have to always keep reviewing what is our mandate, and our mandate is always about education, and particularly education of young women. That is really our mandate, and every project that evolves or happens here has to work into that. So the primary school feeds into it, but boys and girls getting educated and going on to secondary school. The clinic also then evolved in 2016. One of our sisters came from Kenya, and she started a very informal clinic in the classroom, just something very small. Fortunately, we had a very generous donor from Germany at the time, and they were also interested in supporting to build a clinic for us. And we've been very blessed with that we've been able to build the clinic. We now have 6 nurses working in the clinic, and nicely 2 of them are our own graduates who have come through secondary school. They've come through the internship program. They trained as nurses, and they are now back working with us in the clinic as well. As we became a registered clinic and it became more formal, WHO recognized us as a clinic, and the government also, so we became a vaccination center. So the relationship with the community has continued to grow, continued to blossom. The danger always for us is, when is it enough? Because the needs are so vast, and I think there's only so much that we can do. But again, we just keep coming back to what is our mission, and our mission is education, and particularly the education of women, and anything that can support that. I think when we started here, the bishop who invited us was an Italian bishop, and he said, if you come to work with us, know your work. The needs are great, but stay focused on your work. And I think that has been a very important mantra for us, because the needs are so great. As a missionary coming here, you're more than just an aid worker. This is our life and our commitment, and God is at the center of what we do. As the President said many years ago, we are not rebuilding South Sudan, we're building it. Young women never went to school in South Sudan. And I think this is, as Loreto Sisters, this is who we are. And this is what we want. You know, we want to be able to journey with young women. We want to work in environments in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in all continents of the world, working with young women, accompanying them to become the women that they want or that they are created for. And in South Sudan, it is really, it's very clear that this is a huge need, and we're delighted to be able to provide that need. Thank you.